This is Kulali and her owner Garth. Garth was a successful engineer who started building Kulali as his final life project. Unfortunately, Garth never got to see her finished. I've been lucky enough to take the challenge on of completing her build and one day to sail her around the world. Similar to Garth, I'm a passionate engineer who loves to know how things work and how to build things. Join me on this journey to bring Garth's dream to life. This is Sailing Kulali.
Alright, welcome back to another episode of Sailing Kulali. This whole thing needs to be 415 millimeters. This log needs to be cut down, and I'm also going to make this fit into there with more of a bite. So let's do it. So I just bought this Diablo Steel Demon, and Forrest likes it. It costs $34, so let's see whether it works. This is the one that I'm currently using to try and cut that thing away. It says that it's for wood. Aluminium's pretty soft, so I actually cut a little bit, but it's not lasting as long. So this is carbide, tungsten carbide, I guess. So it should last longer. 20 of these cost 20 bucks, and one of these cost 34 bucks. So that's over 15 times more expensive. See that that's been cut off now, and so that's just the other side to get cut. Nice. Here we go. Nice. This Diablo thing gets the thumbs up from me. It worked really well. We managed to cut a pretty thick section of aluminium, and where the weld had hardened, the aluminium cut through that okay as well. Much better than these eBay ones, so it was worth the $34 to buy that. Otherwise it would have taken ages of time to grind it down. So beautiful. Now that this fits into the rudder tube of Kulali, I just need to make this bearing block have the same profile as this, so this can fit in the top of the rudder tube. Then this will get positioned, this will just get tolerance fit onto there in the boat. Then technically we should be able to put the rudder in and see what happens. We're going to make a 5mm step in here to accept the tube. Yeah, that's easy, so that's all lined. Good. So that step's been machined down to 100mm to accept the tube. Now we're going to face these sides off. We want to face this one down to this, which is 9/9 and 6/6 thick. Using a lathe, we're going to mill this down to have the same profile as that. Using a 4-jaw chuck, you're going to chuck this in like that and face the sides. This is it so far. That's being faced. So how this works is it spins a round part, but you can imagine this cutting face is on a plane, so it ends up making a flat surface, which is pretty cool. That's 2 faces done. That's 9mm, that's 9mm. Now I'm going to flip it over and do the other sides. That's 1, 2, 3 faces faced up. One more face to go, and then we're pretty much done, hopefully, for the machining of these parts. That's it. All 4 sides done. Yesterday we did some work on this stuff. Today we're going to keep going on this stuff. We're going to machine back this profile on here, and that profile is going to allow this whole part to fit inside the boat. The boat has points that don't allow this to go in. We're going to grind this back. We're going to test fit it inside the boat. And what that means is if this sits on the top of the bearing, we know that this bit can go in down the bottom. They will match up, and that means that the part is pretty much ready to be cast into the boat. Cool, so let's get started. Oh, you found it, Forrest! Ah! So I'm going to use this machine. It's called a linisher. It's like a big sanding wheel, and I'm going to grind this back. Alright, it's done. Not bad. Oh. Right. You can see that it's fit in there pretty nicely. Bit of wiggle room. this weld is not letting this go lean that way. So I'm just going to grind a bit of the overhang off using a die grinder. Oh. Alright, so the bottom bearing and shaft is in.
Now we're going to put this in.
Alright, that's it. That's dry fitted pretty much. Just muck around with it a little bit more, check the angles, and go from there.
We're just going to take 5mm off there to make it so that there's more space on the rudder, and 5mm shaven off so that the total OD is 110. That was the bearing original, and this is the bearing that will fit. So it had to be trimmed right up. It's a lean version of the bearing. The internal stayed the same, but it's just this big flange on the end. So that's brought down to 10mm thick now and 112.5 wide so that it fits. So we'll go have a look, see whether it fits. See if it fits. Oh. That's it, that's the bearing in. Not bad. Trying to go inside pods. Not a good idea. Alright, that's the bearing in. Ready for the dry fit of the rudder. In next week's episode, we put Kulali on her pretty dodgy trailer. Subscribe and find out what happens with the rudder and whether we get her into the tube.